Life Study of Joel. Message 1. The introductory word and the day of Jehovah. Amen. The book of Joel is short, but it is excellent, wonderful, and mysterious. In this message, we will first give an introductory word and then consider the matter of the day of Jehovah, an important subject in the prophecy of the Bible. The introductory word, the meaning of the name Joel. In Hebrew, the name Joel means Jehovah is God. The time of Joel's ministry. The time of Joel's ministry was about 800 BC, probably after the prophet Elisha. The object of the Joel's ministry. The object of the Joel's ministry was the southern kingdom of Judah. The place of the Joel's ministry was also Judah. The subject of the book of Joel is the devastation of the human government on Israel in 4 stages and the destruction of Christ over the devastators and his reign among Israel in the restoration. The central thought of Joel is that the nations, as the locusts, devastate Israel consecutively. In 4 empires, from Nebuchadnezzar, the first king of Babylon, to Antichrist, the last Caesar of Rome. They will be overcome and terminated by Christ, who will set up the kingdom and the reign among the saved Israel in this age of restoration. The 4 empires that devastate Israel and that will be overcome and terminated by Christ are the Babylonian Empire, the Medo-Persian Empire, Medo-Persian Empire, the Macedonian Christian Empire, and the Roman Empire. These 4 empires are signified by the great human image in Daniel 2, and the image that will be destroyed by Christ as the stone cut out without hands. Actually, this stone signifies not merely in the individual Christ, but also the corporate Christ. The corporate Christ will come as a stone cut out without hands and will smite the human government into pieces. The revelation concerning Christ, 1. In his coming with his overcomers as the mighty ones to defeat Antichrist and his army. In the book of Joel, Christ is revealed in his coming with his overcomers as the mighty ones to defeat Antichrist and his army in his judgment of the nations. In this book, Christ is revealed as in his judgment of the nation. This is the judgment of the living. Acts 10:42 tells us that Christ is the one who has been designated by God to be the judge of the living and the dead. And 17:31 says that God has set a day in which he is to judge the world in righteousness by the man who he has designated. Christ will judge the living just before the millennium, and he will judge the dead after the millennium. Amen. 3. In his dwelling in the holy mountain of Zion, within Jerusalem to reign and among Israel. Finally, in joy, Christ is revealed in his dwelling in the holy mountain of Zion, within Jerusalem to reign among Israel, to be their God, their shelter, and their stronghold. The sections. The book of Joel has 5 sections: the introduction, the plague of the locusts, the turn of Jehovah to his elect, Israel, the judgment of Christ upon the nation, and the victory of Christ over the nations and his reign among Israel. The day of Jehovah. The book of Joel speaks the days of Jehovah. A. The day of Jehovah in joy, being the day of the Lord in the New Testament. B. The Lord's judgment for his governmental dealing. In expressions such as day of Jehovah and the day of the Lord, the word day is used mainly in the sense of the Lord's judgment for their governmental dealing. C. The day of the Lord, being the day in which the Lord judges. Before the Lord comes, it is man's days in which man judges. Man will continue to judge until the Lord comes. After the Lord comes, it will be the day of the Lord, in which the Lord judges. Man's day of judgment is the present age. This is the contrast to the Lord's day, which is the coming age, the kingdom age, in which the judgment will be the Lord's judgment. Today, in the day of a man, everyone is a judge. Even children judge their parents. The students judge their teachers. But in the day of the Lord will stop all human judging and will give the final word. Amen. D. The final day of the Jehovah the Lord, beginning at the 6th seal and ending at the judgment of the great white throne. The final day of Jehovah the Lord will begin in the 6th seal and at the judgment of the great white throne, and comprise various calamities, plagues, and the woes for the Lord's punishing judgments and the governmental dealings upon the heavens, the sun, the moon, the stars, and the earth, man, Satan, and the demons, to clear up the earth and the entire universe, for the new heaven and the new earth to come for his eternal kingdom. The time for the 6th seal to be to the beginning of the 1,000 years kingdom will be a little more than 3.5 years. That will be the time mainly of the great tribulation. The judgment of the great white throne will take place after the 1,000-year kingdom. Thus the day of the Lord will last for about 1,003.5 years. Let us now briefly consider the calamities, plagues, and the woe which the day of the Lord will comprise. The natural calamities of the 6th seal. First, there will be the natural calamities of the 6th seal upon the sun, the moon, the stars, the heavens, and the earth. Amen. The severe calamities of the first 4 trumpets. Revelation 8:7-12 speaks of the severe calamities of the first 4 trumpets upon the earth, the seal, the rivers, and the sun, moon, and the stars. Actually, the calamities of the 6th seal and the first 4 trumpets are clusters.
Cluster.
一连串 cluster related to the judgment of the universe. 3. The first woe, the 5th trumpet, The first woe, the fifth trumpet, will be by the locusts from the abyss under Antichrist.
Abyss.
Under Antichrist, 深渊 as their king, who will also come up from their abyss. The second woe, the sixth trumpet. The second woe, the sixth trumpet, will be by the four angels released from the Euphrates, with the 200 million horsemen. The third woe, the seventh trumpet. The third woe, the seventh trumpet, will be composed of 7 bowls, and the evil and the malignant sword of the first bowl. The evil and the malignant.
Malignant. Malignant.
Malignant.
Malignant.
Malignant. Malignant sword. Malignant sword of the first bowl will be upon the men who have the mark of the beast and worship his image. In second bowl of the sea, becoming blood like that of dead men. In the second bowl, the sea will become blood like that of a dead man, and every living soul that is in the sea will die. In the third bowl, the rivers and the springs becoming blood. In the third bowl, the rivers and the springs will become blood to the drink of those who pour out their blood, of the saints and the prophets. In the fourth bowl, the sun burning men with fire. In the first bowl, the sun will burn men with fire. In the fifth bowl, the kingdom of Antichrist becoming darkened. In the first bowl, the kingdom of Antichrist will become darkened, and the people will grim.
Gnaw.
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 Gnaw their tongues. Gnaw their tongues. Gnaw their tongues for pain, and will blaspheme the God of heaven for their pains and the swords. In the sixth bowl, there being the war of Armageddon. In the sixth bowl, there will be the war of Armageddon, in which Antichrist and his armies will fight against Christ with his overcomers. Christ will destroy Antichrist and all his evil armies, and the Antichrist and the false prophet will be cast into the lake of fire. In Revelation 14:17-20, Christ defeating Antichrist and all his evil armies is likened to his treading of the great white press of the fury of God. Amen. Like G, the unprecedented earthquake of the seven bowl. In the seven bowl, there will be an unprecedented
Unprecedented.
Unprecedented 史无前例的 unprecedented earthquake. The great city of Jerusalem will be divided into 3 parts. The cities of the nations will fall. The political Babylon will be destroyed under God's wrath. Every island will flee, and the mountain will disappear. Furthermore, the great hell will come out of heaven upon man. All the calamities, plague, and the woes from the sixth seal to the seventh bowl, constituting the great tribulation, the hour of trial. All the calamities, plagues, and the woes from the sixth seal to the seven bowls. Seven bowls constitute the great tribulation, the hour of the trial to try all the people who dwell on the earth. The great tribulation will last for 3.5 years. A religious Babylon, the great, being destroyed. Probably at the beginning of the great tribulation, the religious Babylon the Great, the Roman Catholic Church, will be destroyed by Antichrist. At the end of the great tribulation, the political Babylon the Great, the revived Roman Empire, will be destroyed by the Lord. The two witnesses. In the great tribulation, the two witnesses will spit fire. Spit the fire out of their mouths to devour their enemies, will shut up the heavens from raining, will have authority to turn the waters into blood, and will smite the earth with every plague. Antichrist blaspheme God and make war with saints and overcoming them. In the 3.5 years of the Great Tribulation, Antichrist, instigated by Satan and strengthened by the false prophet, will blaspheme God and make the war with the saints and overcome them. Satanic authority will be given to him over every tribe and the nation. Satan being bound for 1,000 years and cast into the abyss. Satan will be bound for 1,000 years and cast into the abyss. This will take place after Christ deals with Antichrist and his enemies. 8. Christ ruling the nations with an iron rod for 1,000 years. Christ will rule the nations with the iron rod for 1,000 years and will break them in pieces as vessels of pottery are broken in pieces. The burning of the rebellious people and the casting of the devil into the lake of fire. At the end of the millennium, the nations, deceived by the devil, will rebel against Christ, but fire will come down out of heaven and devour them. Then the devil will be cast into the lake of fire. 10. The judgment of the great white throne. At the end of the day of the Lord, there will be the judgment of the great white throne by Christ over the dead men, the demons, and probably the fallen angels. The heavens and the earth being renewed. Finally, the heavens and the earth will be renewed with the intense burning heat to be the new heavens and the new earth for the new Jerusalem. The day of the Lord ends with its burning heat. The heavens and the earth, the old creation, have been polluted and contaminated by Satan's rebellion and by man's fall, and therefore need to be renewed. The day of the Lord, with all of its judgments, is for the manifestation of Christ. As we study the Bible, we need to realize that revelation in the Bible is centered on Christ, who is the centrality and the universality of God's economy. All the judgments of the day of the Lord, including all the calamities, plagues, and the woes, have a goal, and its goal is to bring in the manifestation of Christ. Amen.